I'm great about that, other than trying to help people who are in a state of disease. Welcome back to the Immigration Answer Show. My name is Jim Hacking. This is episode number 675 of the Immigration Answer Show. How are you guys doing? How is everybody? How is your week? Has your week gotten off to a good start? I hope that it has. We had fun yesterday on the show, and I'm anticipating a lot more fun and frivolity and silliness on today's show. What's going on? It's not like we have an election coming up or something. What the heck? Let's see who's here. Hope checks in first, as she often does. Thank you, Hope. JD in the house, loves the early shows. Creaky Bones is up and at 'em early in Eugene, Oregon, where it's almost 8 o'clock a.m. Lindy is here. Fatima wants to know, how long should you wait before hiring us for a lawsuit? Depends on what kind of case it is, Fatima. Depends what's going on. Gabriella is here. Hina is here, as she often is. We're live on TikTok. Hina will be helping with the comments there. Huli is on a call at the moment, I can see, but she's also here watching the boards, keeping you all on your good behavior. Nurse Laura is on her way to work. Have a great day, Laura. Patricia's here with all the other early birds. Traylene, Maggie. Hey, H&M is here. AJ says hello. Big up to all the yardies from our man Rich. You know, I don't know where Rich lives. Rich, where do you live? I don't know where you live. I always just obviously think of you as a yardie, but I don't know where you live. We got Qatar in the house. Marvelous just woke up. Well, Marvelous, give us a call. We always like it when people call from bed. You know that. Shauna is here. Shivam is here. Glenn says this is way too early. When I watch MSNBC, I watch Morning Joe a lot. And before that, there's a show called Way Too Early. So today, Glenn thinks we're up way too early. Marvelous, also 8 a.m. JD says we can't be silly. No silliness here. Hello from Atlanta. Raphael is here. Eve says hello. He's been giving some good comments lately, I've noticed. True is here. David said, wow, yesterday was yesterday was good. A lot of silliness, a lot of I was thinking about that lady who wouldn't listen to me yesterday. I was telling Amani. Rich is in Florida. Well, that makes sense. That's where a lot of the yardies like to hang out, is in FLA. Vadim, Dobry Utro, Vadim. Vadim's here. I saw Vadim yesterday in the comments. Always glad to see Vadim. Good morning, Alexander and Gurgis over on TikTok. Thanks for that. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Listen, if you want to ask me a question, come on to TikTok or come on to YouTube. And like I said, we'll be here for the next hour. And then I'm on call today. So one of our intake attorneys took a new job yesterday, and we're in the process of hiring a new intake attorney. And so I'm going to help out with intake for a while. So it's funny because people sort of get surprised when they hear me on an actual intake call. I used to do all the intake myself. So I enjoy talking to people one-on-one. Spurs are playing today. Oh my gosh, 2 o'clock. I didn't know that. I got to pay attention. I'm not used to Wednesday soccer or football, I should say. Yes, Creaky Bones, we're hiring an intake position. I think we have somebody, but we're definitely hiring for intake. All right, I'm going to go and start with Denise. Denise, hello. You're on mute. Denise, are you there? Hello. I think Denise got in the waiting room and then decided to take a little nap. We'll put her back in timeout and call up Nana. Hello, Nana. Are you there?
Hi, Jim. I'm here.
What's up?
Good, Jim. Thanks for your service. Jim, I'm married to a U.S. citizen for 1 year now. Back in March, I was pulled over by a cop and was issued a ticket. I tried settling it online, but I was asked to go to court to settle it. So I went to court, was given a fine of $280 for failure to present registration. and also maintenance of lamps. So, Jim, my question is it gonna affect me if my wife files for me in my for my green card?
So the traffic stuff is all done, right? The case is over. That case is over.
Yeah, yeah.
And so, what were the exact things that you pled guilty to, or that you got cited for?
Failure to present registration and failure to maintain lamps.
Lamps, like headlights.
Yeah.
Hmm. So, what was the deal with the registration?
So I was just asked to pay a fine of 280 in total.
But why didn't you have the registration? I guess is my question.
I think my wife took it out of car. The car was sent to the mechanic, so I don't know what happened, and I don't know. That I
Yeah,
think that
I'm not
was
worried about. I'm not worried about this. As long as you bring them proof that you've paid them, they're not going to worry about this. This isn't a big deal.
okay.
All right. Good luck.
Thank you.
Yep. Have a good day. All right. Tassine is here. Hello, Tassine. You're on mute.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good. Good morning.
Good morning.
Long time I was trying to reach out to you, and finally I got. Uh, I had a case for my wife. She filed a petition for me uh, in 2022. Before she filed a petition for me, and I had interviewed in Abu Dhabi, and there was some misunderstanding between me and my wife, and then she withdrew the petition while I have interviewed. So she again filed for me, and now my case is documentary qualified on in March 25th. So my previous case will affect my new case. Is this possible?
It's the same
Any possible?
spouse. Same spouse.
Yeah,
Both.
the same spouse, the same spouse.
Why did she withdraw it?
There was actually a scam. Someone told her lies about me, about our relationship, and that
Like
was
what?
the reason.
Like what kind of
That,
lies?
like, actually, I'm divorced. Or they told her that I'm still in a relationship with my ex, like that,
What country are you from?
Pakistan. But
Do you have
I'm resident in UAE.
Do you have a valid divorce decree?
Yeah, I do have. I do have.
And does the government know that
Yeah,
somebody
the government know. The
hold on?
government know. Uh,
Does the government know that somebody says you're still married to your first spouse?
no, no. Actually, I have a degree and I have a divorce certificate. Everything I submitted to USCIS, and the they asked me last time the bona fide certificate from the UAE. I also submitted that.
Yeah. Okay. So to see, you know I'm Muslim, right? Do you know I'm Muslim? Did you know that?
Yeah,
So
my my
you know
wife is she's Muslim. She's Muslim. She actually best her family belongs to Pakistan, but she is a US citizen.
I understand. So I think this is a problem because they think lots of Muslim men from Pakistan or the Middle East have two wives or like to have two wives because it's permissible in Islam. So I think I think you're going to need a whole lot of evidence that your relationship with that lady is over because I think they're going to find out about it because they're going to ask you the same question I asked you, which is what was
Yeah,
the
I provided all the documents which they need because there was a misunderstanding. I hired one attorney. She actually filed case and she come in. She speak with the NVC and they told her to reopen the case. And then she tried to reopen my case and that it took 1.5 years. And that was a misunderstanding. It wastes 1.5 years for just reopening my case. And at the end, they told me that no, this case, this petition is revoked. You cannot reopen it. So this is the problem. That's why they told me, they advised me to, your wife should file a new case.
When your wife sent the letter withdrawing the case the first time, did she say it's because she thought you had another wife, or was it just say I want to withdraw it?
Yeah, she told her, she emailed to embassy.
And what did she say?
After that, she and her sister and another family member, they file. They write a letter to USCIS. That was a misunderstanding. Someone told us lie. That was a scam. And
But what I want to know is, in any of the letters from your wife to the NVC or to USCIS, in any of those letters, did she say that the reason that she wanted to withdraw the application was because somebody told her you were still married to your first wife in Pakistan? She did? You're nodding, but I can't hear you. I don't know why I can't hear you, but I think this is going to be a big problem. I think that they're going to think you have. I think they're going to think you have two wives, and I think it's going to be hard to get a visa.
because last time so I'm still in the queue waiting for my interview. So when I'm going for interview, so they will. There's the chances to deny.
For sure.
So if I go along with my wife, my spouse, for the interview,
they won't let her in.
The interpreter, if she goes with me,
they won't let her in. You need an interpreter. You don't want her there. They're just going to separate you. Her going is not a good idea. They're just going to pull out that old statement and say, "Hey, did you say that your husband was still married to his first wife?" Yeah. Okay. Well, then he's not getting a visa because we still think he's married. Good luck, Tassine. All right. That's an interesting case, don't you think? Sounds like old Tassine's in a little bit of trouble. All right. Let's see what Hina's got cooking for us over on the TikTok. Gigi's. Waiting for my asylum interview for more than 5 years. Is there anything I can do to have my interview? Lawsuits are really good for that. 5 years is plenty long, so that would be a good lawsuit, Gigi's. I think depending on where you live, you'll have an interview set pretty quickly. Maybe 2, 3, 4 months, except maybe Los Angeles. That might be a little bit longer. Mo says, can I file for expedite for green card based on asylum status because processing time is too long? I don't think that's going to be a good expedite request. And of course, I don't believe in expedite requests because I don't think that they really get taken seriously. Abdullah, my marriage-based case is pending for 18 months. No interview, no RFE, no EAD. I only have advanced parole. What can be done? Abdullah, depending on the situation, I'd probably sue USCIS to try to get an interview and get the case taken care of. All right. There's old Huli. Let's go to Ayanda. Hi, Ayanda. You're on mute.
I'm sorry about that. How are you?
Of course. Great. How are you doing?
I'm good. I just have a question. So currently I am on a J1 visa, and I'm not subjected to the 2-year going back home.
Great.
And at the moment I am currently going through a rematch process, which usually takes 2 weeks. Now my 2 weeks is about to come to an end, and the agency that I'm currently with is telling me that they're now dropping me out of the program. So I did try and do some research if maybe I can try and change my visa to a different type of visa, like a visitor's visa or a student visa, and I found out that yes, I can do that. So my option right now, the option I'm choosing to take is a visitor's visa. But now looking at the time period, that since my rematch time frame is now ending on this week Friday, I'm not sure if maybe it will be enough time to file for a change of status, or do I have to leave the country on Friday and then I can file for a different visa back home to come back?
What country are you from?
I'm from South Africa.
And why do you want to stay longer?
Traveling purposes.
Yeah, this gets you 6 months. Why do you really want to stay?
So I've only been in the country for 4 months,
Why
and
are they,
during that time,
why are they kicking you out of the program?
it's so the current host family said they wanted to rematch, and when I went through the rematch process, I wasn't able to get another family who's going to fund me to stay in the country. So the agency is now saying that since I'm not able to get a new family during this period, I have to go back home,
And
and
this
they
is
just kicking me out of the program like that.
is this an au pair situation?
Yes.
What's your long-term plan?
In what manner? In what
As far as
way?
what if you had your dream come true when it comes to U.S. immigration, what would happen?
Probably stick around until I work, find proper work, or maybe study, and then I can get a job to stay in the country.
Okay. All right. So what you're telling me is that on Friday, the agency is going to notify USCIS that they're kicking you out of the program and that your visa is, pretty much over. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Hmm. Um. Hmm. That seems pretty shitty on the part of the agency, I would say. Well, here's the problem with changing your status on a non-immigrant visa inside the United States. That used to take 2 months, but now it takes anywhere from 6 to 8 to 12 months, right? So I think that you'd be here and you wouldn't know if it's going to be approved. And that's not the worst thing in the world, except that it's sort of stressful being here without really knowing what your status is.
Yeah.
But more so, if you ever try to get some other kind of visa to come to the United States, they're going to hold that against you, that you filed for this change of status at the very last minute. Right now, you really don't have a choice just because you got your program terminated. Now, I think there's a good argument to be made that you should go back home and apply for whatever visa you want. I'm not a big fan of going on to the visit visa just because that's just pushing the mess down the road, right? So if you're serious about coming back to the United States and, like you said, maybe getting a job, I think the F1 visa is probably going to be your best route because you can come and study. If you can afford it, you can come and study. And then when you're done, you can get what's called optional practical training. You can study in your field, you can work in your field and get paid. Right.
Yeah.
So I think what I would do is I would spend these next couple days looking at schools where you want to live and seeing if they'll accept you into their program, and then getting an I-20 and then applying for an F1 back home.
Okay.
But I mean, right now, we're just trying to make the best of a bad situation. I don't know that getting a visit visa for travel is really helping you much, right?
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you very much for the clarification.
Good luck.
I'll definitely do that.
For sure.
Thank you.
Have a good day. See ya. All right. Allie says, can someone get the T visa when the employee did not give Social Security number, tax and benefits, and payroll on R1? Don't understand that one. King Salvi, $. My probation ended 2021. When can I apply for the N400? Most likely 5 years later. So King Salvi, most likely 5 years of good moral character. So most likely 2026. That's the best way to make sure you don't lose your filing fee. Veronica L. Samuda, I have filed for my I-130 in September of 2022 and I've not gotten approval yet. Is that normal? No. Well, it depends what kind it is. If it's spouse-based, that's crazy. If it's some other preference category, those are taking a long time. John Davis, if a person went to prison on a drug charge and they are here illegally, will they get deported? Probably. That's a safe bet. All right. Hey, Donna's in the house. What's up, everybody? Donna's here. Let's say hello to Candace. Hello, Candace. You're on mute. Candace, are you there? We can't hear you. Hello. What's going on? Guys, got to be ready. When I call you up, you got to be ready. All right. Bo is here. Hello, Bo.
Hello, Jay. How are you doing?
Good, buddy. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Thanks for everything you do. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I wanted to know, I've had petition for my kids, and they're living abroad. I'm in the United States. I'm the U.S. citizen, and they became documentarily qualified last month. and the priority date is 1st of June 2023. My question is, when can I expect that they'll be called for interview?
What country?
Nigeria.
So everyone will chime in about I don't really know the processing times. I don't pay attention to that much, but people in the comments will talk about the processing times in Nigeria. If I had to guess based on just what I hear and that kind of stuff, maybe 10 months, 12 months, something like that, maybe 8.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Thank you so much, Jim.
Thanks, folks. See you, buddy. Yep. I see somebody put their email in the chat. I'm just going to take that out. I don't want people getting emailed. That's not good. All right. Optimus Prime is back. Is today Wednesday? What's up? Hello, Optimus Prime.
Hey, I'm well, Jim. How are you today?
I'm good, buddy. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm okay. Well, we literally just came back from the interview.
How was it?
Man, the saga continues. That's what I'll call it. And I'm going to say that you called it. They were fixated on my, initial application, the very first one, about the marital status and all that. I mean, he kept asking questions. Are you married? I said, well, to be honest, I don't even recall much of what was. I explained that application wasn't completed by me, which I also explained to the interviewing officer the second time. But, so because of that now, I have to file a waiver, despite, everything and all of that, So that's where we are now. Give us a bunch of papers and all that. It wasn't mean. So the officer wasn't mean. It was just pretty straightforward,
Yeah.
Not too chatty and all of that. But it was okay. I don't have a problem with that. But kept asking, and I told him all that I know, because that was what happened. And this is far back as 2024. I was in another city. My father called me and said, "Go to this interview, do this and all." That was pretty much how the whole thing panned out. It was later I found out that this was what was entered in my application. Of course, by the second application, I knew that would come up. So I talked extensively about it, which was why I got the second, visa. But right now, so that's the situation I wanted to provide with you. But I do have questions regarding the waiver.
How much time did they give you for the waiver? How much time did they give you for the waiver? How much time did they give you for the waiver?
I think between now and December.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
so I do have a question.
This is for a visa application back home?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
So between we would start working on that as soon as possible, But I do want to ask, how long does a waiver typically take to get a feedback?
6 to 12 months.
Okay. Also, if it's taking longer, what is the recourse of action that someone can take? Is this something you can also file a writ of mandamus for, just
for sure?
So when would you say it's outside of a normal processing time?
I'd give them 6 to 8 months from the filing of the waiver, and then go from there.
I think between now and next month, we put in the waiver. We should be able to put it. It shouldn't take long,
Yeah. Well, I would say take your time. It's better to file a stronger case than a fast case.
Yeah. So that's the situation right now. So like I said,
you're right. You're right. The saga continues. You weren't lying.
Yeah, it continues. But just wanted to know. And by the way, I'm going to email you about the person I asked you the information about the student situation and all that. I'm going to email you today to get the referral so that the person can go meet up and have that discussion.
Thank you, brother.
So that's the update. I'll keep you posted.
All right.
Thank you.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Later. Bye-bye. Oh, you gotta hate that waiver. You gotta hate those people filling out visa applications for you overseas. My first question to people who've applied for visit visas is always, did you fill that shit out yourself or did somebody else fill it out? Because that's the big problem. All right. Kwame's here. Hello, Kwame. I like your fit.
Thank you, Jim.
How you doing, man?
I'm good, and you?
Great.
Actually, I've been following your show, but it's my first time of getting in.
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you. Well, I've attended the interview already. And then we were requested to submit more evidence. Basically, they limited it to affidavit from my wife's 2 kids, and then also authorization that I could pick my kid, the last kid, that is my stepson, from school. And last but not the least, a letter from the landlord, because we did not, my name is not on the lease. So they wanted a letter from the landlord. But then my wife has been staying there for years, and she seems to have fallen in love with that particular apartment. And then she's getting some benefits on it because she was a single parent and then with 3 kids. But then her fear now is upon we submitting a letter from the landlord, she might lose that particular apartment and she does not want to live there. So she's reluctant to go to the landlord for that letter. And I just want to find out from you, in that, if we are not able to submit that one, what will their position be like from USCIS?
So here's the problem, my brother. She's getting some kind of benefit from some government agency because they're treating her as a single person for purposes of the rent and assessing the rent and the lease and all that stuff. So there's one government agency where she's saying that she's single. There's another government agency where she's saying that she's married. So, you know, I'm just the immigration lawyer. I'm not the landlord lawyer. I'm not the renter lawyer. This is a bad thing. You guys need, I mean, you're giving them the ammunition they need to deny your case, because, you know, what happens when they figure out that you're not on the lease, the next stop is they come over and literally, I think this is what they do. They wait for you to leave like one day from work, and then they go around and try to get people to say that you don't live there. Right. So this is a big problem. You can't tell the government 2 different things. This is what, you know, I say this all the time with taxes. You can't say on the one hand, I'm filing single because it's getting me a benefit on my taxes, but I'm saying married so that I can get my husband a green card. Creaky Bone says if she's actually married, that's welfare fraud. So you guys are getting really close to really, really blowing shit up in a bad way.
Okay, so what do you advise I do?
I think you have a discussion with your wife and say, if you want me to get my green card, we need to have a lease that I'm on, and we need to stop playing this game between the 2. You can't have it both ways.
Okay. So that means it's a must that I get a letter from the landlord that I live with her.
I don't live in musts and have tos. That's not sort of my bag here. What I'm telling you is that it's a problem, that you guys have to make decisions about how you want to handle yourself. And if you are legally married and she is getting some kind of welfare benefit for being in the apartment by saying that she's single, that's a crime. And so she needs to be careful.
Actually, she was there before we got married. We married last year.
But I would imagine that the regulations that they have say that once you get married, you're supposed to notify them, I would think.
Okay.
Or at least maybe at the next time you renew the lease. You know, I don't know. I don't know criminal law. I don't know the law of the state where you live.
I'm in New Jersey.
All right. Good luck.
Okay.
Thanks, Kwame. Yeah, you always got to be careful. Right hand has to know what left hand's doing. Right hand has to know what left hand's doing. Let's go over to so Veronica said, I filed for my I-130 spouse-based September of 2022, and it's not been approved yet. That is not normal, especially if the spouse is a U.S. citizen. If the spouse is a green card holder, maybe, but if the spouse is a U.S. citizen, that's unusual. Sar Lashkar asked, will hepatitis B disqualify from a green card? I think it could, but you got to work with your civil surgeon and talk it through with them. Bam. If I apply for the DV 2024 lottery, would that affect my future entries to the country or visa application? No. The DV lottery is such a long shot that they don't hold that against you for immigrant intent. If so, just applying for the DV lottery won't keep you from being able to get a non-immigrant visa. Mind Your Business says, how do you think PIP will end up? Will the stay be lifted in September? DHS may request it. I think they will request it. I think it should be granted, but I don't think it will because we're talking about federal judges in Texas. All right. Raphael in the house. Hello, Raphael.
Hello, how's it going, Jim?
Good, buddy. How you doing?
I'm good. Hey, I have a question. So 3 years ago, the church that I'm a member of sponsored me for a religious visa. Um, I'm their music director, and I got married last year, applied for my green card last year, and was approved in February of this year. And I'm still with the church. I have been with the church ever since. Technically, if I didn't get my green card, my R1 status was gonna expire in Halloween of this year, like in a month. Am I okay to leave my sponsor employer now, or if I leave now, will USCIS think that I was not ending my up end of the deal with the petition for non-immigrant worker? Am I allowed to do whatever I want now since I have my green card through marriage? That's my question.
If you had called me the day after you got your green card, I would have told you to send a letter to USCIS saying that you had received your green card and that you wanted to cancel out the R1 application, or I would have had the employer do it, the church do it. You're well past that now, so I don't think you're going to get in any trouble for going to take the job that you want. I don't think there's any, as long as, the only way this blows up in your face is if later on, like if you apply for asylum, if they think that the whole application itself was fake, that's a whole different thing than what you're talking about. So I think you're fine as long as it was a legit application based on a good faith belief in the status of the law. Then I think you're fine, and I think you can go work wherever you want.
Okay, thank you.
Bye, Raphael. Good job, buddy. See ya. All right. Denise is here. Hello, Denise. I can't hear you, Denise. I don't know if you're on mute or what. Yeah, you're on mute.
Hi, can I get off camera, please?
You are off camera, Denise. How you doing?
I'm doing well, and I appreciate you again. Me and my husband, you helped us along our journey,
Nice.
and we have gotten our green card, 2-year green card, and now it's time for us to file for removal of conditions.
Great.
So my question has been is you had gave us some information concerning his daughter. You told us to file for her as soon as we got the receipts from the I-130. Is that correct? And the 45. So his family has interfered, and now we did not fulfill that part of the process, and now he wants to go ahead and try to file. So my question is, do we need to file another I-130 or 485 for her?
Where's the child right now?
She's in Nigeria.
Okay, so you wouldn't ever file a 45 for her because she's in Nigeria. So take that off the table right away.
Okay, so we'd have to file another I-130?
What was there an I-130 actually filed before?
Yes. I mean, for her?
For her, yeah, uh-huh.
No. When we filed the I-130 and the 485 for his 2-year green card, I remember I wrote it down somewhere that you said once we got the receipt for it, the I-130, that we should put in the application for her. But no, we didn't. We didn't file anything for her.
And I might have just asked you this. If I did, I forgot. How old is she?
She is 6. She just turned 6.
Okay, good. Okay. So basically no one's ever filed anything for her.
She was on the application for the K1, but we haven't, after that, and every paperwork we fill out, we put her down, but
she never came. That's good.
No, she hasn't been here since he's been here for the 2 years.
And so we're going to file an I-130 now. Let's say it gets approved in a year. What happens when the National Visa Center processes, and then the embassy processes, and they say, okay, little lady, we're ready for you to come to the United States. You're going to need sign off from the family. What's going to happen then?
Sign off from what family?
The mother.
Okay, well, his family there has been in contact with the mother, and his sister actually has his daughter, and she had her ever since he been here. So
have the mother's rights been terminated?
Through the courts?
Right.
No. So
what I'm saying is that at some point, the State Department's going to require that everybody who has rights with the daughter is okay with her coming to the United States. So if mom's rights haven't been terminated, then I think the State Department's going to require some kind of sign off that she's okay with the daughter coming to the U.S.
Okay, so she said that the sister that talks to her said that she would be okay signing off.
Okay, yeah. So what you're talking about now is then you as a U.S. citizen are going to file an I-130 for your 6-year-old stepdaughter and get that part of the process done with USCIS. That's going to take about a year. And then you'll start dealing with the NVC and the State Department, all that stuff.
Okay, so we can go ahead and file the I-130 and just wait for but in the meantime, we have her birth certificate, we have her passport, and we have her, we just need the letter, correct?
Well, you don't need the letter from the mom now. You need it later. Right now, the only question is she your stepdaughter? That's the only question. So obviously they've concluded that your marriage to her father is legit. So you want to send a copy of his green card and his I-130 and 45 approval notices. And then you're going to have to prove up that he supports her and knows her and that there's a real relationship. So you're going to have to prove up their relationship. And then you probably need a little bit of evidence of your relationship with her. I would try to talk on the phone with her on FaceTime or something and take some screenshots. You're going to have to establish that he's at least connected to her. And if you can do anything showing you're connected to her, that would be good. What country does she live in?
She lives in Nigeria.
Yeah, so they're going to give you a hard time. You might need help with this. I don't know. It's up to you.
Okay. So, well, how much, I guess it would be to file this I-751 removal and her case together?
Well, usually one's like 3,500 and one's 5,000. So we give you a discount, but it's 5,000 for her for sure. Thanks, Denise.
All right. Thank you very much, Jim. Have a great day.
See ya. If you need our help, let me know. All right, back to TikTok we go. Big Central. How do you think Trump's immigration law will affect us waiting for the NBC to give us a date? It's not so much that Trump will have an immigration law. It's that Trump will gut the State Department and visa processing will grind to a halt. So I think it'll slow everything down, Big Central. Zuliana, will my K-1 visa be easy to get approved if my fiance has a felony charge? No, that will make it harder. Having felonies, even if they're not Adam Walsh Act or violence cases, still makes it hard. Kamara, hey, Jim, do you know when to expect my interview? I filed my 71 in March of 2023 and my N400 in March of 2024. Depends on the field office, depends on whether you were in status when you got married. Should be pretty soon, though, I would say, Kamara. All right. Ivan is here. Hello, Ivan.
Hey, how's it going?
Great.
So I had a question. It's for my parents. They were deported. They came to the U.S. back in the 80s. They had 3 kids. But then in around the early 2000s, they were speaking with attorneys trying to get their status fixed. But it didn't work out, so they were ordered to leave. They didn't depart the U.S., and then in 2009, they were deported. Now, all their children, us, were over 21. They were told they had a 10-year bar, but we spoke with an attorney. She said she could help us out. We filed the I-130 for them. That was processed. So the case is now in NBC, but our attorney kind of dropped us. She said, oh, we can't continue anymore. She can't help us. So then we spoke with another attorney. he said that he can help us out with obviously a few $1,000s. But then we spoke with another attorney who they said was very reputable, and he said that there wasn't really much we could do.
Did they have multiple entries into the United States?
No, just one. My mom actually was able to fly out and then fly back in through like the border the right way, but then she never got back out.
Why did the reputable lawyer think that you can't help them?
He just said that because they were told to voluntarily depart and then they didn't, so then they were forced to then they were deported, so that it wasn't available for them anymore.
That could be true. I would spend some time thinking about it and looking into it. I don't know for sure that that's going to be a bar. I think it might depend on lots of different factors. Has anybody gotten their like whole court file from the immigration court?
We have their FOIAs.
You do? Okay. You want to send them to me?
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, send them over and we'll take a look and we'll see what's up.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Ivan. See you, buddy. All right. Nolan, hello.
Hi, Jim. How are you?
Good. What's up?
Good. So I have my dad here. He's come from Canada. I'm a U.S. citizen.
Great.
I'm 24 years old. I filed for him. And unfortunately, I didn't include my 2023 tax returns. I filed for him back in June. So I got a request for evidence, but I haven't filed my 2023 tax returns.
Why?
Just haven't got around to it yet.
Okay.
So the only thing is my dad isn't in the U.S. right now. He's out on advanced parole. Does he need to return, or am I able to respond to the RFE without him being in the U.S.?
Why isn't he here?
He's visiting his mom, who has cancer in Canada.
I'm sorry to hear that. So basically, well, when did he enter and when did you apply for him?
I think he entered on March 25th, and I applied for him on June 26th.
Okay. That's exactly 60 days. Okay. 61 days. Okay. And then when did he leave the United States?
He left on, I think it was July 30th.
And when is he coming back?
He got his advanced parole is valid for 1 year, but he plans to come back at the end of November.
Well, advanced parole just means the card's good for a year. It doesn't mean to be gone for a year, right? You know that, right?
Yes, I do.
And you know that he should be back. I mean, why is he spending so much time up there? Just because his mom's sick?
Yeah, exactly. I think she's on hospice care, so he's just spending his final days with her.
Does he intend to reside in the United States?
Yes, he does.
Okay. So the question that you have for me is, does my dad have to be physically present in the United States when I reply to the request for evidence?
Yes, that's my question.
No, there's no rule that says that.
Okay. All right. Thanks so much, Jim. Appreciate it.
Good luck, buddy.
Thank you.
All right. Let's go to Ivan. Hello, Ivan. Ivan, are you there?
Oh yeah, I'm just looking for where to send the FOIAs to.
Oh, okay. info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com. Info.
Right,
Yep. See ya. All right. Let's go to TikTok. Sergio says, if I file the 45, can I apply for the I-131 even if the tourist visa was expired? You can, but Sergio, in those situations, I usually say it's best to wait here in the United States until you actually get the green card to leave, unless you absolutely have to. Coco Grace, if I separate from my spouse because of a disagreement, will my green card be taken away? I've been in the country since February 2024, and we were always fighting. Coco, I'm sorry to hear that. Couple of things. Number one is be safe. So if you have to get out of there, get out of there. They won't take your green card away just because you're fighting or having disagreements. they only can take your green card away if they put you in removal, or if you don't get your 751 approved. You're going to have to do a 751 at the 2-year anniversary. This is probably too important to talk about over TikTok, so I would say email us, info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com, and we can talk it through. But basically, you should know that you don't have to depend on your spouse. If they're abusive, there's ways for you to stay. Once you have your green card, you're in a much better position than before not having your green card. But once you have the green card, you should be in pretty good shape until, as long as you keep doing things the right way. JYT11, EB1A self-petition and approved, AOS then filed and paid by the employer. Am I tied to the employer? I wouldn't think so, except for the fact that they paid for it. So you might want to talk about the costs and all that stuff. They might want their money back. Nadi, U.S. citizen filed I-130 for spouse in November of last year. Timeline keeps changing, now showing 18 months. Nadi, for us, we're seeing 14 months. 14 months. If it's an I-130 for overseas, I-130. All right. Josh, are you there? Hello, Josh.
Hi, Jim.
How you doing?
I'm well. So my question is, right, I filed all the paperwork with my husband. Everything was approved. That's the form I-130, I-130A, I-85. But I just recently got a letter in the mail for my I-765. I'm currently under DACA, so category C33, but it says something about like eligibility category. So I was wondering if I filled that part out wrong. And I was wondering if I sent the wrong fee, because I sent the wrong amount. I believe I sent 260 and it's 520. So just wanted your advice on that.
So do you currently have an EAD?
Yes.
From DACA?
Yes, I do.
And when is that supposed to be renewed?
Every 6 months. Well, every 2 years is supposed to be renewed. Right now, it's going to expire in a month.
Okay. And so when you filed, to me, what I would do is I would keep my DACA EAD going.
Okay.
And I would also try to get my EAD through the marriage case, right?
Okay.
So what I'm wondering, though, is did you confuse them by using the code you usually have for DACA EAD on your, did you submit the I-765 with your I-130 and 485?
Yes, I did.
The one based on marriage?
Yes.
And you paid $260?
Yes.
And what code did you put?
C33.
Which is the DACA code, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you confuse them.
I see.
So first things first, I would renew my DACA EAD right now. I would file that tomorrow, okay?
Okay.
And then what I would do, I would let that settle. I'd give it 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would respond to the RFE and say, hey, sorry, guys, I checked the wrong box. Can you treat this as an EAD off of the 485? Therefore, my filing fee of $260 was correct.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Got you. So will I be also updating my status in that category too as C9, or just keep it as C33?
No, that's the whole problem. You need to tell them it's C9, because that's the code for someone who's applying for adjustment EAD.
Got it. Okay.
Just real quick, are you an overstay or did you enter without inspection?
I'm sorry, repeat that. I'm sorry.
Sure. Are you a visa overstay or did you enter without inspection like when you were a kid?
A visa overstay. I've been here since a child. Yeah.
Great. All right. Well, good luck.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Good call.
Bye.
Thanks, Josh. Yeah. Yep, for sure. Ore's here. Hello, Ore. Ore Soon, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
Hello.
Hello.
How can I help?
How you doing?
I'm great.
Okay. We spoke the last time. I went to my doctor, my lawyer, and I told the lawyer to withdraw the one for me and my children. So
Okay.
she decided to withdraw my own and kept my children. My children, he said he was doing the juvenile immigration, but mine was EB2. So he withdrew mine and left my children. So now I don't know what to do now.
Okay. Well, what do you want to do?
I don't know. I contacted your lawyer, but it seems they don't get my message.
Okay. Can you send one more email to info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com and we can look into it?
What do you call the email?
info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com.
Okay. But the one that is sending to me as a practice, is it the same thing?
Yeah, that's the same thing. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Okay.
I'll do that. Thank you.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
All right. Let's go back to TikTok. User 8675. If the new immigration law is implemented, will there be a problem for those who applied before? I'm not sure what immigration law you're referring to, user 8675. I assume you mean the parole in place, and I wouldn't think that'd be a problem. Ballas says, is it possible to get EAD with an I-130 case and a removal order? No, you only get the EAD off the actual green card application, not the I-130. Fiorella, I-130 approved consular process in Peru. Petitioner is my husband, but we are separate for DV, still be valid. I have my green card. He's the petitioner for my daughter in Peru. My stepdaughter is 7 years old. Okay. I-130 approved consular process in Peru. We are separated for DV, still be valid. I have my green card. Well, if he's the petitioner and you guys are separated, maybe he withdrew the I-130. Do we know that? All right. Ed is here. Hello, Ed.
Hey, Jim. How's it going?
Well, I'm very excited because we had a stuffed animal and now we have a cat.
Sorry, I just have to move the computer in front of me. I can put it back on if you want.
No, it's all good. I like the cat. I'm worried about cats because of all the stupid Trump and JD Vance stuff. What can I help you with, Ed?
Yes. So, question. I am a Mexican citizen under a TM visa, working in the U.S. as an engineer.
Okay.
On my free time, I like to design board games for personal reasons, for friends playing and stuff like that. Very recently, though, a board game publishing company wanted to buy my game off of me and try to sell it. It's a similar process to a book. They buy your rights, they design it a little bit, and then they pay you royalties.
Cool.
I'm wondering if there's a way that I can get that done without conflicting with my visa status with a TM visa and only having to work for a single employer. Maybe it's I can award it as passive income, or I don't really care about the money at the end of the day. It could be a few thousand. Maybe we can word the contract in a way that all the money gets sent to a charity and it's not really working.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do you have a lawyer looking at the agreement? Have they sent you an agreement?
No, not yet. This is just starting. So I'm trying to figure out the waters, what I can do.
And so they're gonna buy the rights to it, see if they can get it off the ground, and then if they do, then you'll make money off that too. They'll pay you a little bit up front and then a royalty.
Yes.
Does that sound like income to you?
I mean,
it doesn't sound like income to me. It doesn't sound like working to me. That's the prohibition. The prohibition is on working.
I see. So it is justifiable as non-income, just royalties, passive income.
Well, I think we need to talk. I think you need to talk to three different kinds of people. One is a tax accountant or lawyer. One is an intellectual property lawyer. That's the one I'm concerned about the most because we want to frame it the right way. I think you want to have an intellectual property lawyer and a immigration lawyer talk in tandem. And actually, I have a friend who does this kind of stuff. We call him the screen lawyer. He just does stuff on screens and products and rights and stuff like that. So if you don't have a lawyer for that, I could connect you with him, and then he and I could just make sure. I think there's a way to structure this so that it's not employment and not violative of your TN visa in any way, I think.
Yeah, I'd love to do it. I would highly appreciate it.
Yeah, sure. His name's Pete Salsic, but just email me, info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com, and I'll connect you. Maybe send me a little description of the game and all that stuff, and then Pete will talk to you about what you need to do to trademark it or whatever else.
Yeah, I'll send you all the information. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Ed. See you, buddy. I just found out about a cool place in St. Louis. They have 100 board games that you can play. So you go down there, there's food and drink and board games, and they just bought a building in the city a little further south. It's going to be twice as big. So I got to check that place out with my kids. We love to play board games. Do you guys like board games? I like Trivial Pursuit myself, but the kids say I memorized all the questions back in the 80s, so they won't play that set with me anymore. My real favorite game is Sorry, just because the kids all fight when they play Sorry, even though they're old now. I like Uno. I like Ticket to Ride. And what other board games do we like? I really like board games. I think smart people like board games, if that makes sense. What else? All right, well, we got about 5 minutes left. I'm going to do one or two more TikTok questions, and then we'll get to the last caller of the day. Chris says, how long is it taking to schedule an interview for U.S. citizens family overseas? That's a really big question. So I guess if you start from documentarily qualified, because you're at the National Visa Center. So if you're just at the very start of the whole process, it could be years. If you are documentarily qualified, it depends on the embassy. Some embassies schedule them in 4 months. Some embassies schedule them more than a year later. So it depends on the embassy. My boy, 24. My I-130 is approved, but my husband's I-94 expired long ago. How does he fill out 45 now? You got to figure out how he entered, where he entered. That's the most important thing in the whole case, my boy, 24. That's the whole case. So you got to figure out, and you got to be able to prove it, where they entered, and you got to try to track down the I-94. There's an I-94 lookup. You could look it up with his old passport. Maybe it's on the computer system, but if you go to I-94 lookup, just Google that. That should put you in the right direction. Fiorella says, no, it's still in process. It's approved. I can see it in the portal. He won't withdraw it because he'll go to jail. I don't know what that means. It seems curious to me. Maybe Hina has some more deets. All right. Anand's been waiting. Hello, Anand.
Hey, hi, Jim. How are you?
Great, buddy.
I have a question which is related to my travel document. Currently, I'm residing in India. The second question is regarding I-824. So I have applied for my advance humanitarian parole, but I haven't got anything yet from them. It just I've checked my status, which shows your case has been received from past 1 year, and there's nothing on it.
So what country are you from?
I'm from India, sir.
And why are you asking for humanitarian parole?
Okay. The reason is my Wawa was approved on the 4th of Feb 2023.
Okay.
And I left the country. The reason I left the country is because my grandfather was very sick. He has cancer. I have given them all the evidences, whatever required.
So
And
what's your question for me?
So I just wanted to know, do you think there's a possibility I-131 would be approved and my 824 has been pending since a long time? Now, recently they have asked me for a request for evidence, which I have sent it to them. So will I be able to come back to the country or no? What do you think on this?
I think the chances of you coming back are very, very low. Very, very low, under 5%.
Under 5%. Okay. Why you think so?
Because the consulates, number one, India's crazy busy. Number two, it's a VAWA case involving a man. Number three, you left the United States. I don't see this thing working. I don't know. This doesn't seem like a great plan to me.
Okay. So I just have to go with this?
I guess. Yeah, you just got to wait. But don't get your hopes up. I don't think you're coming anytime soon.
Because I spoke to an attorney. He said it will take minimum 2 years. So by 2025, you'll be back in US. That's what they have told me.
Anand, I hope you call me back on the show then and tell me you got your visa. I don't think it's going to happen that fast, and I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon.
Okay. Thank you, Jim. Thank you.
Good luck, brother. Yep. See ya. All right. We probably got time for one more. Marco is here. Hello, Marco.
Hey, sir. Question. My immigration judge granted to me my removal procedures on April 29. I tried to contact with the visa with the USCIS to get the info pass appointment, but I can get the appointment. So I tried to talk with my lawyer, and we make a letter to the local office because now my case is in the local office, but I cannot get the info pass to at least stamp my passport. So how I can do that case?
So why did you end up in removal?
Because I applied for they call it 10 years law. I have my wife has problems here in USA, and I live for more than 20 years in this country, so I applied for that reason.
For cancellation, and then the judge granted you cancellation?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and when did the judge grant you cancellation?
On April 29 of this year.
Okay, and when did you have the trial for your cancellation? Was it earlier, like a couple years ago?
About 3 years ago.
Okay, and so now you're trying to get USCIS to process your green card based on cancellation. Okay, how do you know your case is at the local field office?
Because the last time that I called to USCIS to get an info pass appointment, they sent me an email that my case was transferred to Newark, New Jersey local office. And if I don't receive any call from them on the next 30 days, I have to call again. But I try to do this call back each month, and now I am 5 months waiting for that.
So basically what you're asking me is, where's my green card? That's what you want to know? Like,
how I can do to try to get the info pass, I need at least they can stamp my passport. Because the other thing, I send the application for my renewal work authorization, and in my case status, they said that they closed my case because I received the benefits for other means.
Yeah, that's probably true. So I think what you need to do maybe, Marco, is to sue them to get your green card. Otherwise, you might just wait another year or two. I mean, you could keep trying InfoPass and bothering them and trying to get a stamp in your passport. I don't know how seriously they're going to take that. You might just need to sue them to get your green card.
So should I have to wait,
or you can sue them? You could hire me to sue them and say, "Hey, Marco should have his green card. You guys are dragging ass on his green card. Give him his green card." And I think that they'll cut through it and get you your green card.
So, but I have to do with my lawyer. I have to go with
well, if your lawyer knows how to sue them, then you could have your lawyers. Do you want me to have Juli come on and explain it in Spanish, or do you understand what I'm saying?
Will be better in Spanish. Because
okay, hold on. Here she is. Hola, Juli. I actually got to fix her hair first.
Yeah, I have to fix my hair. So, hola Marcos, ¿cómo está? Bien, lo que está explicando el abogado dice de hacer la demanda para ayudar a agilizar tu proceso, ¿bien? ¿Ok? Y de obtener en este caso tu green card. Esto lo puedes hacer con tu abogado, si sabe él hacer esto, lo que es las demandas por demora, ¿bien? Y si no, nosotros lo podemos hacer. No es necesariamente que dejes de tener tu abogado que aplicó por tu caso. Bien, esto lo puedes consultar con él y cualquier cosa nos puedes llamar, puedes preguntar por mí y yo te pongo en contacto con uno de nuestros intakes que hable español y te pueda decir cómo te podemos asistir.
Ok, ¿me ayuda con su nombre, por favor, para poder enviar un correo electrónico? Julia.
Y nos puedes llamar al 314-961-8200. Ahí tienes el número en la pantalla.
Muchísimas gracias.
De nada.
Gracias, Marco. Gracias, Julia.
You're welcome.
That was great.
Great.
All right. We'll end it with Marco. Thanks, Marco. Good seeing you, buddy.
Thank you.
Have a great day. I'm great about that, other than trying to help people who are in a state of invasion.